I'm Trent Arnold, Regional Superintendent for Region 2, and as Regional Superintendent, I'm just so excited to have Ms. Stacey Abrams coming to speak with the students today at Midvale. This is the type of event for these young people that they will remember for the rest of their life. They'll go back today and tell their parents about this exciting event, but as they get older and graduate from DeKalb County and go to college and begin careers, they'll remember when Ms. Abrams came to talk to them. All of us as adults remember those moments when we had such larger-than-life figures that have done great things come and speak to us, and these young people will remember this as well. And I'm just so excited and appreciative of Ms. Abrams coming and talking to our children today at Midvale.
Okay, well done. Thank you both so much. It's been an honor to meet you. Take care.
She is courageous because she ran for governor. She is knowledgeable because she works with communities and understands what they need. She is principled because she helped employ hundreds of people that need jobs in America.
Ms. Abrams is an extraordinary example of someone making a difference in the world, and we are all in for a treat today. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Stacey Abrams.
Hello. Okay, we talked about this when I came in. Let's try that again. Hello. Much better. So my name is Stacey Abrams. Raise your hand if you've heard of me. Awesome. Raise your hand if you voted for me. Okay, none of you are old enough to vote. But thank you for trying.
Stacey Abrams came to Midvale Elementary to see 5th grade, and we asked her questions. My question was, what is your process for writing a speech?
I don't always write my speeches down. You should write your speeches down.
She said to write it down if you ever have to do a speech so you're not repetitive and everything.
I don't like public speaking a lot, but what I realized is telling myself everything I knew wasn't really helpful. I needed other people to hear me. Because sometimes, do you ever have a good idea and you don't want to say it out loud? You're in class and you know the answer, but you don't want to raise your hand? Because why? You're afraid of being wrong, aren't you? Or you're afraid somebody's going to look at you and say, that's a dumb idea. Well, that's how I felt about public speaking. I was afraid that imagine if you have to speak in front of everybody and say what you're thinking and they think you're wrong. But here's what I realized, 2 things. One, okay, I might not be perfect, but it's not like they're going to throw tomatoes at me. Yeah, they're not going to make me leave the stage. But what's even better is that somebody might hear me, and because they heard what I said, it might make them better. It might help them out. And so what I tell people is you don't have to not be afraid. Being afraid happens. Raise your hand if you've ever been afraid. I'm afraid all the time. But the issue isn't if you're afraid, it's are you willing to get past your fear? Make fear your friend. So when I'm afraid of public speaking, I think about it. I understand why I'm afraid. I'm afraid people are going to laugh at me. I'm afraid they're going to say mean things about what I say. I'm afraid they're going to fall asleep while I'm talking. But then I realize, what are the good things that could happen? The good things are they could clap for me. They could like what I say. They could vote for me. They could pick me. And in the end, I'd rather have the good stuff that comes than worry about the bad stuff. So yes, you're going to be afraid. Don't let anyone tell you you can't be afraid, but you don't want to let fear stop you from doing things that you're good at. And I'm pretty good at speaking in front of people. Thank you, ma'am.
So today our 5th grade students had the pleasure of Miss Stacey Abrams coming out to speak to them. They just finished up their unit on civil rights, and she was an amazing speaker. She answered all of their questions, the tough ones and the easy ones, and they were able to make connections between their learning about civil rights and her as a change agent, as a leader, and a role model.
And my question is for you, what is one of the biggest problems facing African American women?
The biggest problem facing African American women is that we make less money than most, we have less access to opportunity, and we are underestimated. And I know you said one, but those come together because when people underestimate you, they make it harder for you to get opportunity. And when it's harder to get opportunity, you have to fight even harder. And when you have fewer resources, it's harder to break through. But I will give you the other side of that. Black women are some of the most resilient, strongest people I've known. They are usually creative and they will fight. As I said, my mom is one of the most amazing people I've ever known. And she's a black woman through and through. And she, despite us having very few resources, made certain that she had 6 children who all went to college. That's an amazing thing. That's why.
I'm Carolyn Abrams. I'm Stacey Abrams' mom, and I'm here at Midvale School with her while she is speaking to 5th graders, and I think that there are very few things more important than speaking to young people, because young people, of course, are our future and just laying a foundation. I'm very proud of everything that Stacey does, and I'm especially proud that she takes time to come back and to speak to young people, because she knows how important these formative years are. So I'm just glad to be here and looking forward to seeing what Stacey does next.
Hi, my name is Janine Abrams McLean, and this is my son Cameron McLean, and he is a student in the 1st grade in Miss Batista's class. And today, my sister, Stacey Abrams, came to speak to the 5th graders, and I think she did a wonderful job, and that the 5th graders learned a lot about the civil rights movement and the importance of the civil rights movement and the importance of continuing to fight for civil rights even today. Cameron, do you have anything to say to anybody?
Goodbye.